Hey, how's it going? It's Kyle Henderson, BamaInsider.com, coming to you from beautiful Fairhope, Alabama. You can hear the seagulls and the fish jumping in the background and the birds chirping. This place is unbelievable. Definitely recommend it. I can see people fishing at the left of my view, and the sun has just risen on this beautiful day. Thank you for following. Thank you for subscribing. Today, I just quickly wanted to jump on. I know there's no week of college football, but there's still a lot to talk about, and today I'm kind of gearing this towards our question of the day on BamaInsider.com. Our team writer, Tony Sukalis, always puts together a question of the day, and this particular question inspired me to get on and talk about this via podcast. The question is, how many players from Alabama will be drafted in the 2020 NFL Draft? And I got to thinking, wow, I mean, could it be at the low end 6? Could it be at the high end 9? I mean, could 9 players really be drafted from Alabama in the first round of the 2020 NFL Draft? Sound off in the comment box. I'm going to talk about the guys who I think will receive high draft grades. It's quite a bit of guys, and that's a good thing for Alabama. You know, the process that you come to Alabama, you play, and then you go to the league. But it is concerning if you're an Alabama Crimson Tide football fan, because the list is lengthy, and the players that could potentially leave Alabama after this coming season is a handful, more than a handful, 2 handfuls, 3 handfuls. All right, so let's start on the offensive side of the ball, and obviously you got some tank for Tua going on with the Miami Dolphins completely throwing their season in the ocean. Tua Tagovailoa, I mean, is he not going to be the first-round pick? I mean, geez. He's the way he's playing right now. I mean, teams are just could use him right now. Tua Tagovailoa has been the #1 draft pick on several mock draft selections throughout the internet. Even though Saban says with the internet, what people say on the internet doesn't matter. Do you see that? But Tua, I mean, what he's doing right now: 23 touchdowns, no interceptions, 1,700 yards. Passing rating over 220. It's really incredible to see what he's doing. And, you know, I get it. You know, Tua is the most humble cat in all of college football. And he continues to say that the guys on the outside are making him look good. And that may be the case. But we also know that the way that he has been reading the RPOs and the way that he's been distributing the football on a dime with such touch has really been just spectacular. And I think that his hard work is soon to pay off, and it's just a matter of time until we see Tua playing on Sunday, so which is great for him, great story. And you know, it'd be interesting to see what his brother does next year, coming up, taking over or trying to take over for the quarterback position at Alabama. All right, the next guy on the board from the offensive side, and the question of the day was, how many guys from Alabama could go in the 2020 NFL Draft in the first round? How about this guy, Jerry Jeudy? I mean, a lot of people have him number 2. Number 3 overall pick in the NFL Draft. And how could you not? I mean, what Jerry Jeudy continues to do is high-level stuff. I mean, you could tell right when he came to Alabama that he was going to be someone that was very special. Alabama has a long lineage of wide receivers that are now the best in the NFL. You know, Julio Jones, Amari Cooper, Calvin Ridley even doing his thing in his young career. And Jerry Jeudy certainly going to be next in line. I mean, what he continues to display in terms of not only the yards and production that he has and his Velcro-esque hands, but the fact that he also has, good morning. Sorry, that was a maintenance crew rolling through. But the fact that he has demonstrated also a selflessness to get downfield, to do those little things, the stock blocking, to spring open, you know, a Devontae Smith or Henry Ruggs, the way that he's also carried himself off the field. I mean, a lot of these guys from Alabama, the way that they distribute or the way that they carry themselves off the field is very impressive. These are very humble guys who are soon to be millionaires. The way that, you know, that they represent the program is really commendable. I think Alabama really does a great job, you know, making sure that these guys carry themselves off the field in a respectful manner, which I sincerely appreciate. We need more mentors for the youth, as you know. Henry Ruggs, I think, is another guy off the board, and we're sticking with the offensive side as well. I think the thing that sets Henry Ruggs apart is his speed, right? I mean, he's a 4.2 guy. I mean, there was times this season I think he hit 23 miles an hour. I think last season he hit 24 miles an hour. You know how fast that is for a human to run? I mean, I mean, you get that guy on your program, you get him in the league, and the thing that Saban has said about him is he's freakishly strong. So he can get downfield, make the stock block. You know, another guy who's distributed or shown great hands. All these guys from Alabama have, I mean, do you see these receivers drop passes? I haven't. I've seen a couple guys drop. I saw Henry Ruggs drop one pass in practice, one. And I've been to countless practices over the last 3 seasons. One ball. That's it. It was weird. So Henry Ruggs is another guy who I feel could jump off the board in the 1st round. How about the tackles from Alabama? Alex Leatherwood at tackle. Jedrick Wills Jr. at tackle. These are multi-year starters. These are guys with a ton of experience. These are big nasties on the outside. These are true NFL tackles. The bookends of Alabama's offensive line over the last couple years. I think those guys, and what's crazy is most of these guys we're talking about right now are all juniors, right? I mean, every single one that I've talked about so far is a junior, which is also mind-blowing. And these aren't guys that redshirted either. These are true juniors. So I think Alex Leatherwood, I mean, he's a guy who's very underrated on the outside. I think the way that he has, you know, the way that he has graded out in Pro Football Focus, he's been one of the highest graded out players from the offensive line side. He's played guard a couple times early on in his career. I think he's a true tackle, and you can really hear those birds chirping, can't you? With Jedrick Wills, I mean, he started all games last year, started 15 games for Alabama last year. He started every game this year. Another guy who's just a very critical part of this offense. And I don't think we talk about the offensive line bookends enough, but these two are critical to Alabama's success for the remainder of the season and have been pivotal points for the team during last season. So Alex Leatherwood and Jedrick Wills are also guys I feel who will receive high-level grades when, you know, we start to turn to the 2020 NFL Draft. How about this one? This is the last guy I got on offense. No, I'm not forgetting Jalen Waddle. Jalen Waddle is only a sophomore, thankfully. How about this guy, Landon Dickerson? I mean, could he play in the league? I'm not saying 1st round, right? I'm not saying 1st round, but when you look at, you know, if you want someone on your team, could he be a guy that also sneaks into the NFL draft? I mean, the way he's played like a big nasty, right? You've seen him. There's a couple of clips on Twitter where he's knocking dudes down. He's flexing on them. Saban loves him. Saban loves the fact that he competes, the way that, you know, he just gets after it. He's a big nasty. I don't think he's a 1st round guy, but I think he could sneak into the NFL draft at some point, and now who knows? So Landon Dickerson. All right, moving to the defensive side, and again, the question of the day was how many guys from Alabama's current team will be selected in the NFL draft, the 1st round of the NFL draft. You can read more insight on BamaInsider.com. I'm coming to you from beautiful Fairhope, Alabama. I love living in Alabama. I think it's a great state, great people, great food. Down here, this is my first time in Fairhope, Alabama, and I think it's just exceptional. It's beautiful. I'd recommend it to everybody. Come down here, bring your family, enjoy yourself, enjoy the sunset, and just enjoy life, you know. Get one spin around, let's make it a good one. So as we continue, talking about the defensive side of the ball, you got Terrell Lewis. I know he's been injury plagued, and I think if I'm an NFL GM or if I'm on the organization, I have to, you know, this dude is going straight to all the physicians, and we're making sure that all these parts are screwed on tightly, and he's, you know, ready to go for the NFL. Because if I'm dropping millions, you know, I want to make sure that return on investment, you know, is going to be there. And Terrell Lewis is a guy who looks the part, who is the part. When he gets after the quarterback, you know, he looks like the best outside linebacker in college football. I just want to make sure that he's healthy. But if he is healthy and everything checks out, absolutely, he's a 1st round guy. You got Raekwon Davis at the defensive end. I think, you know, a lot of people want to see the quarterback sacks from him. Maybe he's not that type of a defensive end. I mean, he's still been graded out very high via Pro Football Focus. Saban's been really pleased with his play. And then his just dimensions, 6'7", 315 pounds. I mean, dude's shredded, almost has a 6-pack, and I mean, 315 pounds. I mean, who out there, raise your hand if you're 315 pounds out there and you have a six-pack. Come on. So, these dudes are freaks. This dude is an incredible machine. And I think it's just a matter of time until Raekwon Davis is in the pros as well. First-round pick, no doubt about it. How about this guy, Xavier Mckinney? One of the alphas on the defensive side of the ball. He's only a junior, I believe. And he was a defensive MVP of the Orange Bowl last season. This year, check this out, 41 tackles through 5 games. Leads the SEC. Yeah, balling out of control. As we continue to move on, how many guys could be selected in the first round of the 2020 draft? How about Anthony Jennings? Anthony Jennings is a guy who currently leads Alabama's pass rush with the most sacks on the team. 3 sacks, 265 pounds. Good athleticism, gets to the quarterback, leads by example. I think when you look at like the true alpha on defense, I think it's Anthony Jennings. Quiet dude, humble cat, really gets the defense inspired by his play. He's a good one. Alabama's defense is going to miss him next year. And then lastly, Trayvon Diggs. Trayvon Diggs is a guy who has continued to grow as a corner. Remember, he came to Alabama as a wide receiver. Then last season, he had the foot injury. This season, I think he's shown that he's a lockdown corner. He's a big corner, too. 6'2". Him and Patrick Surtain, big corners. Patrick Surtain's only a sophomore. So we don't have him included in this, obviously. But I think when you look at Trayvon Diggs, he's a guy that, in this growing age of the spread, you want corners who can run with receivers who are big like receivers. And Trayvon Diggs certainly fits that mold. So let's count them through. Tua, 1. Jerry Jeudy, Devontae Smith, Ruggs, Leatherwood, Wills, Terrell Lewis, Raekwon Davis, Xavier McKinney, Anthony Jennings, and Diggs. Oh, I'm forgetting one. I'm forgetting Najee Harris on the offensive side of the ball. You don't think Najee Harris is waiting to get out of Tuscaloosa to get into the league? Come on. He's built like an NFL running back already. 6'2", 230 pounds. So let me count these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's 12 guys we're talking about from Alabama potentially going in the first round of the NFL draft. I know it's probably not going to happen, but all those guys that I mentioned are going to get high draft marks. So you're looking realistically between, could be 7 to 9 guys taken. Sound off in the comment box. Let me know who you think is going to be drafted in the 2020 draft in the first round from Alabama's current roster. Be eager to hear from you. Also, let me know where you're coming from. Let me know where you're listening to. Let me know where you guys are watching. And please, please, please remember to hit that bell and subscribe on YouTube. We certainly appreciate it. We want to make this channel grow. It certainly helps out our business model. And if you're curious about becoming a premium subscriber to BamaInsider.com, go to the website. When you go to checkout, the promo code for free 30 days is simply Roll Tide. I'm coming to you from beautiful Fairhope, Alabama. This is Kyle Henderson. I'll catch up with you guys soon.